Hi everyone, welcome to Disability Alliance's general body meeting. Thank you everyone who joined us here in person, and happy almost Halloween. Hope you guys went to a WAS. Our very own Alexa was performing and she did amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's just get started. Let just do introductions really quickly. So I'm Deepti, I'm a junior, DDA president, studying global health pub call, and for Halloween, let's do Halloween costumes if you're planning on doing them. I think I might be a cow.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm Simon. I'm a sophomore, secretary, DDA. For Halloween, I don't really have a costume ready,
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of putting you on the spot.
I'll pass on that.
Yeah.
I'm Alexa. I'm a sophomore, studying neurobiology. And what was the question?
Halloween costume.
Oh. I don't have a Halloween costume. What would I go as? I don't know. Britney Spears.
Oh, that's a good one.
Britney bitch.
Like 2007 Britney Spears, or?
Alright, I'm Trent. I'm DDA treasurer. I'm studying how to drop out of school. And for Halloween, I'm dressing as a slutty assassin.
Are you really?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I'm Liat. I'm in Akin, and I'm here to talk about Akin today. I'm a sophomore studying mechanical engineering, and I usually pick my costume the day of Halloween. We'll see. TBD.
So let me guess your class schedule. If you're a sophomore in Nike, are you taking physics?
Yeah.
Linear algebra?
No, I'm in multi.
Oh, multi. Okay. EGR 201.
Yeah.
And some other class of your choice.
Yeah, ETR 121.
Gotcha. I used to be in that.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, why don't you tell us more about Akin?
So Akin's mission is to spread kind of open up conversations about different identity topics on campus, and so we do that through we have a website, so you guys should check it out.
It's a pretty good website.
Have you guys seen it?
Addie showed us last week.
Okay.
What's it called?
Akin. So if you Akin Duke, you'll find it. We have a forum on the website where we post weekly questions that you can answer anonymously. If you log in, that's it. And we have media projects, which you can see an example of those pictures on the screen are an example of media projects that we've done. And so we also have in-person discussions. And so right now we're doing kind of mental health. I know it's not actually mental health awareness month, but that's kind of our theme for November. And we're working on a mental health project where people can submit if you have anxiety or depression or other mental health issues. You can submit your name and an image that you associate with your mental illness, and we will we'll do some photographs of either you in the image or other things. So our creative director is actually working on that project right now, and she kind of so for example, she associates her anxiety with she associates her depression with having really heavy boots on her feet and not being able to move. So a lot of people have different images that they associate with different mental illnesses. So we wanted to collaborate with the Duke Disability Project or Duke Disability Alliance to do something. There's a couple different options. If you guys want to write an article that we could share on our website, we could do some sort of profile thing on people who have disabilities on campus. If you guys are interested in doing that, you guys could collaborate with us on our mental health project if you're interested. It's probably too late to do an in-person panel. just because we already have one set up for November.
Oh, one, we'll put it on the GDA calendar.
Okay, so it's about minority mental health like awareness, and we're gonna partner with NAMI. And it's on November 19th, which is like 2 days before Thanksgiving, so a lot of people are gonna be out of town probably, but
Oh, yeah, it's during break, isn't it?
it's not during break, but it's like,
The weekend
before.
before.
it's the week of break, so it's
Yeah.
Monday of break.
Okay.
Monday, like break starts on Wednesday.
Andrew.
There'll be pizza, or not pizza, there'll be gosaka, I think. And I can give you like I think it's in social sciences. Sorry. I don't know. Do you need the room number? Probably.
You could send it to us afterwards.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll send it to you. So yeah, what do you guys think?
Yeah, it's a really great, like, I won't say project, but just a group that you guys have set up. Like, how old is this?
It was
You guys
started
have done a
by
lot.
4 girls who graduated last year, so I think they started when they were sophomores.
Oh,
Interesting.
okay.
So it's pretty young.
Yeah, because you guys have like done a lot, but honestly, like, I hadn't heard about it until like Maddie told us about it in the club. So our meeting last week. So yeah, I'm just really excited to spread the word about this. And yeah, what do you guys think? Like ideas in terms of?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So is it about the images, like posting images
Yeah.
associated with your mental illness or mental health issues? Like, is it restricted to like art, like works of art or like photographs or something, or is it like can you post literary works too, like some stuff you've written, or is like I don't know what the range of is
I guess the original idea was that it was gonna be a photo project.
photo project. Okay.
So visual media.
Yeah, but we're also gonna have like a written component to it, where we're gonna like kind of talk about. We kind of want to include some like statistics on mental health about mental health at Duke, and like kind of college students in general, and like how prevalent it is and like how little it's talked about.
Yeah.
But if you guys are interested in participating in it, I can send you guys the like Google form where you can just like fill out. And then also if you like maybe have anxiety or depression and you don't necessarily have an image associated with it, our creative director is interested in like having a meeting with you if you're interested in being part of the project. She wants to meet with you, and she'll just have like a very casual like interview discussion about your anxiety or depression. And she's found that people kind of actually do have images they associate with it, just it's not always like immediately. Yeah, right.
Yeah, just send out. I guess you could just send that all the info out.
Yeah, I'll send the info.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so like Duke Disability Alliance at Duke.edu is
Okay.
started selecting now.
Yeah.
So
I read about that somewhere, and I thought
Yeah.
the same thing of like, well, I don't like taking pictures, so I don't have an image readily available.
Yeah.
But-
So if you are interested in participating, yeah, I'll send you guys the link so you can be a part of it. But it's a really awesome project, and yeah, we're excited about it.
It's like such a well-made website too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you guys put that together? Like,
So we actually have 4 like subsections in our club. We have creative, discourse, marketing, and tech. So tech is in charge of like updating the website, making sure it looks good.
Good job.
Yeah.
Media or creative is like the photo projects, and like we're gonna try to do podcasts. There's lots of writing. The discourse is like in charge of like leading the discussions, and then marketing is kind of we're focusing a little bit more on marketing this year because nobody really knows who we are. So we want to like make that more known.
Definitely help out with that, I guess.
Yeah.
Or try.
Yeah, I think last year we felt that too, where DDA is doing stuff and nobody really knows about it. So getting the word out is really important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for telling us about it. We will definitely look into collaborating and like stay in touch.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome to stay for the afternoon if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually have to go, but I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You coming. And I'll send you guys the Google Form so you can like have it. Send it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
So, yeah, and just you and us, we were just talking about I can until now. And yeah, the Asian Students Association reached out to us asking, because they were trying, making a survey about just Asian students at Duke and like what does it mean to be Asian?
Okay.
Kind of breaking down, like dissecting that clump of people and yeah,
it's
into more.
half of the world's population.
For me,
For
it's refusing to eat at Panda.
Yikes.
So they were just they reached out to us asking like, we want to include a question on disability and like can you just evaluate the survey and give us any comments or critiques. So just wanted to go through it with all of you guys.
Yeah, I
and-
wanted to look at it
Yeah.
especially.
There are many kinds of things that affect a person's interaction with their environment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Hello, how are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Good, I'm Olivia.
Oh yeah, hi. You're from Geeks and Duchesses, right?
Yes, so I can stay here as long as you want, so
Yeah.
don't worry about like, I don't have to do it right this second.
Oh yeah, no, feel free. Have a seat. If you want to try and writing your name, Andrew, you can try this too. We write your name backwards on the whiteboard table. Yeah. But yeah, we're just going through. The Asian Students Association created a survey about Asian students at Duke, so we're just gonna go through it and see if there's any feedback we want to give them.
Let's see.
Is this an exercise or is this for the video chat?
Oh, it's an exercise. You can do it if you want. If you think
Well,
it's
this is gonna be embarrassing. I don't even,
I'm not even trying.
I'm going to. Oh shit.
Since this table is a whiteboard, I was like, this is so fun. Yeah. Mhm. But yeah, it seems like they covered all of the ethnicities.
I wouldn't be able to comment on that.
Shit. How does an R look?
So the question about person's interaction with their environment is, I guess, what
Yeah,
they're
that was the main
hoping for
thing.
feedback on.
Yeah, that was the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, there are many kinds of things that affect a person's interactions with their environment. Please select all that apply to you.
Mobility impairment,
Oh, chronic pain.
visual impairment, hearing impairment.
Was there the question was affect their interaction with the environment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have mobility impairment, visual impairment, hearing impairment, fatigue or chronic pain.
Sure.
Do you wonder if I can zoom in?
Oh.
Okay, there. Yeah. Depression and or anxiety, injury,
Also check.
impatience, dyslexia, dizzy.
Dietary
You
restrictions.
can have something on there. I mean, where does like something like, I wouldn't call it a disability, but something like pregnancy that definitely impacts your ability to interact with the environment.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
Where
that's
does
why
that
they also
fall?
have
The
you
other.
can type an other, so you can. type
Yeah,
and think about it.
Yeah.
So
And they include
I guess since they framed it as like things that affect your interactions with the environment, they can like put all these options together. Because I was just surprised to see like mobility impairment with dietary restrictions, and it's like I wouldn't really think of it that way, but I think they framed it like pretty well. So, but yeah, what do you guys think? Is
Maybe
this
if they
it?
just grouped it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
you think? Like grouped as in different sections or like
Or like spread it out a little bit more so it wasn't like impairment, and then like
dietary restrictions?
Or what if they just put it alphabetically and then it's not like a,
oh true.
I mean, that's kind of punting, but that's what I would have done.
I mean, the main issue I could see is that if we're looking at disability as a form of diversity, or like, I don't know, like looking at this question, like maybe it frames disability as just something that like affects you similarly to like a dietary restriction, which I don't know, like
Because I guess there's like a
Or you also like frame it as if it was like a debilitating injury.
Because that's the thing, right? There's a spectrum of like disabilities, like in terms, I guess, how much it affects people and how much people associate it with their identity, and same thing with like dietary restrictions. Like I'm vegetarian, but that's by choice, and it's like that's very different from someone who has like a gluten allergy. So I don't know. I feel like it may be important to like distinguish
Is-
that.
The purview of this accessibility or disability?
Their purpose or the motivation behind the survey in general is just to break down or really understand what it means to be Asian at Duke
Okay.
and
Okay. So,
understand all the diversity within the Asian
It's
community.
more of an identity thing
Okay.
It's not-
yeah.
rather than an
Interesting.
accessibility
Okay.
thing. I mean, maybe they could just simplify the question and be like, do you identify as having a disability? And if so, what? But like, I don't know, survey wise, it's a little.
So I think I feel like I cut you off. Sorry.
No, I was, go ahead.
I'm kind of not. My filter isn't working well right now. But so when I look at it, I look at accessibility issues and disability issues to be interconnected but separate.
Right.
And it might be kind of interesting to see whether someone self-identifies as having a disability, and then underneath that, please identify the following any of the ways that affect your ability to interact with your environment.
Oh, okay.
Because I view, for example, I had a conversation with a female colleague of mine at the law school who was saying that due to her background, which she identified as being Asian and female, that she had just been told either explicitly or implicitly that something like, for example, standing up during a cold call and addressing the whole class wasn't something that was something that she had been told not to do in an educational space.
Oh, you've told me this before.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we had the same conversation. It informed a lot of my thinking since then, but it's clearly not a disability, and I don't know whether she identifies as having a disability that would be separate from that, but it is an accessibility issue because it affects the way that she's interacting with her environment.
So maybe including a separate question about do you identify as having a disability?
That's why I would put them as separate, because I think that there are any number of things that can be like a deeply held person, that do impact your ability to act with your environment, but for one reason or another, you wouldn't consider it to be a disability. That was not really.
Yeah.
So, and that's some great feedback. Well, so we can just ask them to dig it up in question, and then they ask about religions. I didn't even know if there was some religion blend some of the religions I mean, I didn't know there was thing like this.
Oh, I've heard of that. I don't know what it is, but I've heard that word.
And this is another thing. Annual household income. Do you think they should ask have a prefer not to answer option or?
Yeah.
Maybe make it like I don't know, so I prefer not to answer.
Yeah. I think I have to answer these questions before you can see the column. So, okay. Let me fill out this survey. Do I have to answer all of these?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
never mind.
Whoops. Guess it's over. Yeah. Yeah, so. Okay. So, Olivia, do you want to tell us about D&D?
Yes, so Dukes and Duchesses is an organization here on campus. We're undergraduate students that serve as ambassadors for the university at large and specifically the president's office. So as a member of Dukes and Duchesses, you are responsible for working different events such as baccalaureate, graduation, scholarship dinner. Middle school groups. This could be trustees of the university. This could be, we've had wedding parties before, but anyone who doesn't go through the undergraduate admissions office. And we're reaching out to a variety of different student organizations, which we haven't done in the past. Normally we just reached out through social media, but we're hoping to attract students from all across campus rather than just people we're friends with through word of mouth. So we're reaching out to you all to see if there's any interest here. I have some flyers if anyone's interested, they're welcome to take one. There's a link to join our listserv if you just want to learn more. And then also there's the email for recruitment. If you have any questions, you're also welcome to reach out to me. My email is olivia.coletta@duke.edu, and I'm happy to answer any questions. I'll leave these here as well. And then, so our recruitment process takes place in the spring. We're looking at having one more event this semester in December, which if you join the listserv, you can get more information about, or like our Facebook page, to kind of do a meet and greet, which we haven't done before. And then there'll be a final information session as soon as we come back from winter break, and then our recruitment process starts. I also sent you just a few minutes ago an information sheet, if you're able to pass, or in PDF form, if you're able to pass that out, yes,
great. We'll
via
send it out in
email.
our recap email.
And then I also like included a blurb in there.
No, that's great. Thank you. You did all the work for us.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Do you all have questions, comments?
So, and we said there's a final information session before or after winter break, and then what's the recruitment or process like, or the application process, I should say?
So in the past, what we've done is there's 3 different rounds. So the first round is a test and what we call the mixer. So there'll be current D&Ds in a room, and potential new members will come in, and it'll simulate like an event you would work at if you were a member of Dukes and Duchesses. So it's basically just to assess, can you carry a conversation? After that round, there is then an interview with current D&Ds, and then the next round is interviews with some of our administrators on campus. And then at that point, we make the final cuts and we have our new class. It's open to freshmen and sophomores. Sometimes some juniors apply too. We typically don't get a lot of applications for that, since you'd really only have 1 year to do it, because by the time the recruitment process is over, it's about March. The other thing to add is that during the fall, you have to work 12 hours of events, and in the spring, 10 hours of events. Both semesters, you have to do at least 1 tour. Otherwise, you can work other events. But yeah, it's a great way to get another perspective on Duke and meet some of the change makers at our school, and really allow them to hear your voice.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for giving us all this information and flyers in such a easy to read, accessible format. We will definitely spread the word around.
Great.
Yeah, and thank you for joining us.
No problem. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
And there is, I guess Marion did not.
Oh yeah, she said she was busy.
Oh, okay.
But
That's fine. Yeah, and Logan's not here either to tell us about Care Day of Science, but I imagine it went well. The Blue Devils United media campaign that Maddie and Kim Calero from BDU and I were working on, I think the flyers or the infographics that they worked on are going to be posted tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that on your social media. Did anybody attend the Neurodiversity Symposium?
Wanted you?
this
Yeah.
I told you this past week.
Past weekend, right?
Yeah, it was a 2-day event on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, I was in DC.
Alexa and I were busy with the laws.
Oh, were you in the West too?
Yeah, I performed.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's okay, I didn't know I was performing. I was gonna go either. I got ripped into it. But yeah, it's fun.
Oh, I guess that's a short
Yeah, I guess.
recap stuff.
Yeah, nobody can really tell us about anything right now.
Who went to the Neurodiversity Symposium?
Marion did. She gave a talk on Saturday.
Yeah, she has like one of the presenters, I guess.
Yeah. There was an interesting event on like disability and poetry. I think I wish I'd gone, but
Oh, that sounds so cool.
yeah, it was all in Smith Warehouse. I'm pretty sure. So yeah.
Are these fuses?
Those the jewel pods.
Or what?
Jewel pods? Okay. Like
Oh, okay.
I don't know how to
They
say
were
that.
there when we got
Pods?
here.
jewel.
Like
No,
drool?
not drool.
Well,
Oh, jewel.
Like
Jewel.
the jewelry.
the company. Got you.
Yeah.
That makes like the
$5 billion.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I read about that recently. I'm like, oh, I guess it's consolidated. Sorry. Yeah, I'm out of it.
No, no.
Problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess if we don't have, that's all I have for the agenda. Is there anything else on anyone's mind or?
Oh, basically everyone that needs to be paid so far has been
Yeah,
paid.
Chen, we're not broke, are we?
No, everyone
Great.
everyone that needs to be paid has been paid.
Yay.
Including the person who filmed the arts event last semester. Did he get his money? Never.
We had a contract. I have to check on that one.
No problem.
Yeah, because the problem is that once a contract is submitted, like they handle it, and it's not up to me. So if we had a contract, then once we had the money in the budget, then you should have automatically paid them.
Yeah. And okay, I know
What's our like
someone
next?
was saying something about the ASL survey.
I was thinking I could distribute that. So I'm in a medical sociology class.
Oh yeah,
I
I've
was
heard
thinking-
so many good things about that class.
Oh, it's probably a different section, but it's okay.
Oh.
No.
Oh,
Okay, wait, I didn't mean that in like a very toxic way. But there's one section taught by Deborah Gold, and that one has a really good reputation of being really like, involved. My section's taught by Tyson Brown, and it's just it's like a different class basically, and it's way more academic. It's like a lot more reading as opposed to hers. It's a lot more like service oriented. Like you actually do stuff. You like go.
Does she teach it like only one semester?
Yeah, I think she's not teaching it next semester. She's teaching a class. All her classes are really cool. I heard, and I'm considering taking one of her classes. So her really famous class is called Death and Dying, and it's about end of life care,
Mm.
and it's super. Apparently, it's like the most
Yeah.
most amazing class you'll ever take. But she's doing aging and health, which is like I feel like it's one step before Death and Dying, like like geriatric care kind of thing, and that's next semester. But I don't know if she's doing a medical sociology course again next semester or the semester after that. But
I wanted to take that class. Now I'm thinking I shouldn't.
with Tyson Brown,
Yeah.
he's okay. So
I
it's just like a lot of work.
yeah, I
But
can't.
I've learned so much. Oh, bye,
We just have
Travis.
to head out. Yeah, I've got a very busy
No
weekend.
problem. Take care.
Oh,
I think we're gonna be letting out the exam too. So.
Yeah.
Right. I will try and post the ASL survey to the class of 2020 page because I think we still need more upperclassmen responses. I don't even have the access to the class of 2019 page.
2019?
Yeah.
Isn't that the seniors?
Yeah.
Nope.
I'll ask around for that, but
Maybe. No. Well, maybe. Kevin's.
he's a junior, but he's abroad all year, so
Yeah. I was wondering if we would just be like, hey, can you like add us?
yeah.
But he's not a senior, so
Yeah.
darn.
I guess we just
It's okay. Seniors are like supposed to. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like they're the most out of touch anyways. Like they wouldn't do it. So.
Yeah. I guess that's it for today. Happy almost Halloween.
Yeah. Okay. I have a question for you guys.
sure.
So we're launching the law student group this week.
Yay.
Oh,
Thank you, appreciate it. And as you may have noticed, I am not the most with it person generally. Luckily, kind of my co-president who it's funny, we were having an informal conversation. He's like, I heard there's a group. And I'm like, there is. I'm the president. You're the vice president. Welcome aboard. And he's better with nuts and bolts, but I don't think either one of us is great at engagement generally. It's a law student group, so like just given the demographic that we're working with, like most people's interest in most student groups tends to be professionally oriented as far as like cynically things to put on a resume, but less cynically, kind of an opportunity to like develop and demonstrate skills. So I think there's a certain, element that we can focus on that, but I'm just curious to hear anything that's worked either well or not well in terms of engaging with people, either, just trying to cohese the group or things that are good for branching out.
Well, I think definitely like reaching out to other student organizations has helped like a lot. Like I was very super extra of like I want to like work more with other student organizations this year, and like I reached out to one group and two groups ended up reaching back out to us.
Okay.
So it's like I feel like there's definitely like not a give and take, but like a sense of reciprocity. I feel like if you reach out to one organization, they might hear it, like somebody else may hear about you through them, and you can help the spread of the word about their organization. So yeah, it's maybe capitalizing on that. And advertising during classes, I guess, too. So I know some other student orgs do that as well, or they'll just ask the professor if they could give like a 2-minute spiel before lecture starts.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a good place to start. And I can capitalize on other people who are more with it.
Yeah. Thank you for everyone who joined us virtually or may watch us in the future. So
It is on YouTube, I guess.
yeah, it's on YouTube.
Right.